All right, guys, this is a special one. I finally got my hands on the Hot Toys Indiana Jones from the Dial of Destiny. We're talking premium movie details, accurate movie accessories, and of course, the iconic fedora. But is the hype real? Is it worth the price tag? Stay tuned because I'm unboxing it right now. Here we have the box for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's weird. The actual box itself feels like a worse cardboard than what they've been using previously. Maybe just a way to kind of cut costs, but anyway, who really keeps the box anyway? Not me. I found this kind of funny. I mean, this image of Harrison Ford on the box here doesn't look like it's from Dial of Destiny. That looks like it's from like Temple of Doom or Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. That is a young Indiana Jones. Let's take some, comes obviously with some hands. Boom, there he is. Looking pretty good, looking pretty old. Let's take him out real quick. Looks like Han Solo. It looks like they definitely did not reuse the old Han Solo head sculpt from The Force Awakens. This looks obviously like a brand new sculpt. It's very good. And the leather jacket is, I got some gripes with it, but we'll talk about that in more detail once I get this thing all out of the way. Quick look at all of his accessories here. Flashlight, pliers, hammer, the actual dial, leather whip, little satchel, and a knapsack. But let's take a look closer at all these accessories and the figure itself. Looks like we got a hand meant for holding probably the flashlight. The hands aren't very good, I'd say, in comparison to that Poor Toys Blade Runner that I have. I think those are some of the best 1/6 scale hands I've seen. These kind of just look like reused hands. Maybe there's a different sculpt in terms of the hand position and the hand pose, but the actual hand, like that, does not look like an old man's hand. You can kind of see some age spotting and a little bit of the wrinkles on there. And so they painted some of the veins as well on there. You can kind of see the purple, but there's like really no detail in the palms. Their texturing was done with paint versus actual sculpt. Even the nails look pretty smooth. You know, they don't look like they've really sculpted them in there too well. They're very much just look, well, you know, it just does not compare to Poor Toys or InArt. Next up, we got the flashlight. Fairly standard looking flashlight. There's nothing here that really stands out at all. It's not die cast. It's all just plastic. The light does work, which is cool. He's got to put a battery in there. It is good for a nice accessory. And that's articulated a little bit. Hammer and wrench. Also not die cast, just plastic. Nice little bit of weathering there, but nothing to write home about. The actual Dial of Destiny itself, not sure how everyone felt about this movie. I personally quite liked it. I'm a big James Mangold fan, so kind of anything he does, I tend to like. Metal diecast, nothing is even movable on it. It's sort of bare bones, but it's got a nice little bit of detail there. And I guess the paint is all right, just some general weathering. But for what it is in a display, just him kind of holding his hand, it looks good. And you got your articulated leather whip. Very cool. That is, of course, as important to Indiana Jones as a lightsaber is to Luke Skywalker. His trusty whip looks good, all leather. It's also articulated. Probably get some pretty cool looking poses with this. Got a satchel here. Opens up. You can fit. Oh, does it? Yeah, it does. Don't want to pop those buttons off. Opens up. You can fit the dial in there perfectly. It's a genuine leather strap, which is a nice touch. You don't have to worry about it peeling or anything like that. Nicely weathered little piece here. And you got his knapsack from that scene where he's in the cave. These don't look like real leather straps here. But you got some rope and you got some other little things that bring this knapsack to life with little buckles here and there. Yeah, nice looking bag. The accessories overall look pretty good, look pretty realistic. Alrighty, now let's bring in the pieces of resistance. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny. The head sculpt looks real good. He's looking real old. He's looking real grumpy. Maybe a bit of an alcoholic. I have one gripe. I have one gripe with this head sculpt here. And it's the actual movable eyes look almost too deep into the head sculpt. Where there's almost like a bit of a gap between the head sculpt and the actual eye itself, where it almost looks like he's wearing mascara. I don't know if that's just me, if anyone else also sees that, but that's kind of my only gripe with this head sculpt. Outside of that, it's incredible. The hat is also a little bit rubbery, so you can, if you wanted to heat it up, you could probably pose the hat a little bit. It's on one of these little ball joints here. Pops on very easily. And shirt, It's got magnets. He's a jacked old man. And there he's got his leather jacket, which was something that a lot of people wanted because people don't like the leather because it peels, especially if you're living in a humid climate. But my gripe with the leather jacket is yes, it's very cool that it's leather and it's very good quality, and you're getting what you pay for with these figures, which is very nice to have something premium like a leather jacket. But for me, I don't like the way it bunches up here. It's very cool that it's leather, but the jacket doesn't form well around his body. And you can't put his arms down because it's so bulky. Like that, I love a figure that can put his arms down and have him stand naturally, which I really like with the Poor Toys Blade Runner. You can just have him there standing naturally with his arms down to the side. We just can't do it with his figure, so you kind of have to find creative ways. Maybe bend his arm a bit, and rotate it in a smidge, and then that kind of looks a bit more natural than this. But that just kind of annoys me, just the way it bunches up, and it's just a little bit too bulky for this figure. Maybe they found a thinner leather, or they didn't put the inner lining or something. Maybe the lining was just painted on rather than an actual fabric, which is obviously, like I said, does scream quality with a little zipper, but it just kind of affects his articulation. Just kind of looks a little bit too bulky for me. The pants look great. You have to probably iron on a little pleat there. It's got a little bit of weathering there, which is nice. And the boots are kind of crazy. Yeah, the boots are crazy that they use actual leather with real laces. But now my only issue is it's made the ankles really weak. So if you aren't using the stand, good luck. He tips over. I think his ankles are just too weak to hold the rest of the body without the stand. And I don't like using the stands personally because I just find it adds a little bit of clutter to the collection or to the display. So you gotta pose them really, really well and make sure no one touches him or blows any air on him or anything because he's gonna tip over for sure. The figure looks really, really good out the box. No posing here. And let's quickly go into articulation. He's got the usual head movement, can do anything. Of course, he's got the rotating eyes. His arms can go forward, back. He's got a double jointed elbow, which is great for any kind of more dynamic posing. He's got your usual ab crunch, twist as well. And I have one issue with this articulation with his legs. I'm not sure if anyone else is having the same issue here, or maybe mine's just flawed, but you can't move his leg up. Like it doesn't go at all. And also back as well. Neither leg does it. It's just stuck like that. It's got a double jointed knee, but if you want to do like a running pose, you just couldn't do it. But for me, it doesn't matter too much because I'm going to have him in a museum type pose anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you're having the same issue as here. Maybe it is just um, a defect, and I don't know. Maybe they can swap bodies or something for me. But yeah, that's one annoying thing. Straight out the box, no posing, no futzing, and he looks really, really good. That head sculpt could be one of the best of the year, up there with that Hugh Jackman sculpt and Black Widow. Okay, let's get him posed up and can hear my final thoughts. Here he is on the bottom two shelves. These are my four favorite figures at the moment. And let's zoom in a little bit and take a closer look at how he's looking. As I said before, I'm a big fan of museum poses with a little bit of personality. He's not doing anything too dynamic, but he's got something going that's a little bit more interesting than just straight up and down. Holding the dial itself, and I feel like this hand was made specifically for this accessory because it looks natural, doesn't look like you're kind of forcing it into that hand. And I was saying earlier in the review that the leather jacket kind of bulks up and looks a little bit too bulky. I still feel that way, but it does look a little bit better once he's posed. And you can kind of see that wear and tear on the pants around the knees, which I think is a nice little touch of detail. Also, he's been standing like this overnight and he hasn't fallen over, knock on wood. So maybe he doesn't need a stand, and actually his ankles aren't too bad with those leather shoes. Whip in hand, that's posable, and just is coming in a little closer into that head sculpt. Like that looks like a real person. Like the texture on that skin is incredible. I still notice that the eyes are a little bit sunken into the sculpt, making it look a little bit like he's wearing mascara, but it's not too bad. It's just something I noticed, maybe a little tiny gripe that would maybe only bother me, but nobody else, which is a possibility. But yeah, overall, this figure is looking really good on the shelf with the other figures. All right, guys, that's my review of Hot Toys Indiana Jones from the Dial of Destiny. Let me know your comments down below. Did you get this figure? Do you like this figure? Are there any other figures you're hoping to get from the franchise? Obviously, a young Indiana Jones, whether it be from Raiders Last Ark, Temple of Doom, or The Last Crusade. Let's forget about the fourth one. But even if it's a flashback from the Dial of Destiny when he is his younger CGI self, I'd take that. Just give me a young Indiana Jones, or give me his dad. Give me Sean Connery. That would be amazing. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.